Welcome back to Partners Dog School. We return to our camp dog Charlie, a German Shepherd puppy that has been working through her separation anxiety and learning to socialize appropriately with other dogs and handlers at our facility. Week 2 will be more exciting as we continue to build off of Charlie's excitement and confidence. So moving into week 2 of Charlie's training camp, I really started to work a little bit more on separation anxiety, some more socialization to kind of teach her how to play with other dogs. I know Kendall was saying that she doesn't really know how to play with other dogs, so worked on building up confidence through socialization in our daycare. I did notice she was starting to play with dogs a little bit more. She started making some friends. Of course, she did get a little bit pushy at some point where she got a little bit too comfortable being in daycare, but it was definitely really cool to see her change, how her whole demeanor just changed in a matter of time. We worked her in a daycare, as maybe like 3 times I socialized her in daycare, how she went from a little bit nervous, a little bit shy, just kind of walking around, sniffing everybody, to, wanting to play. Definitely has a liking to energy, just like to chase other dogs around and find any other high energy dogs to play with. So definitely really cool to see her just kind of open up a little bit. Separation anxiety, we definitely worked a little bit more just having some time in a crate, spending some more time on place, working on that duration. I noticed a lot of times anytime I'd leave, her point of view, she would kind of get up from the place bed, she'd try and see where I'm at, but that was every time I would exit her view, she would get a little bit nervous, kind of a little bit anxious, was where that separation anxiety was coming from. But yeah, working some more duration. Again, week 2, doing a lot of fine tuning her obedience so I can move her up to some off leash and then some e-collar obedience, preparing her for week 3. But a lot of it, again, just a lot of fine tuning, working on little things like leave it or drop it, practicing some more socialization, teaching her a good recall, which was definitely one of the other goals that Kendall had mentioned, was having a solid recall. We definitely did a lot of long leash stuff, doing some long leash recalls, obedience on a long leash, just some basic stuff like that, and just moving into more advanced obedience with the long leash as well. So today is Charlie's working demo day, so Kendall will be coming in to see how Charlie has been doing, her progress over the last couple of weeks. Again, working demo, just working through the basics. Kind of my first goal is to go over some foundational obedience with him, teach him how to run through those commands correctly, run through a couple things, how she was doing, what she needs work on, kind of just basic stuff like that. Having him get comfortable with the leash handling, how to work her properly. We definitely went over a lot about positioning, how we fixed her downs, working on her sits, working on her heel a little bit, basic recall, set into place, stays, all that basic obedience stuff. And very slowly just kind of introducing him to the e-collar and how we use the e-collar. We worked on a little bit of jumping as well, doing a little bit of people introductions. I know when I first worked her in here, keeping her energy low, talking about mindset and everything, especially when dogs get super excited when they see their owner after a couple of weeks. So, working her through the threshold, having her, be calm before she comes up to Kendall. But yeah, just like the basic stuff like that, making sure Kendall gets a good gist of it, and yeah. So I figured this would be a good time to just start working into obedience, because the biggest thing is just changing mindset. Charlie, sit. Good, yeah, just getting her focus back on me. So that's probably gonna be her biggest thing when she goes home with you, is learning how to change her mindset, or having her learn how to change her mindset, which is her biggest problem. She gets so excited, and again, she doesn't really know how to handle it. Charlie, heel. But I'll kind of run you down on just the basic commands we went through. Charlie, sit. Good girl, good. This is how I'm gonna be working her, is just on my left side. She's nice and parallel with me. Her shoulders are kind of aligned with me. I currently have her on a prong collar and an e-collar. I was working, like I told you before, I was working her on a training collar for a while. But I think the prong collar will definitely have to stick with that, because I know she already has one, and see how she does with this. She responds a little bit better, and using a little bit more e-collar to see how she does with that as well. But I haven't used the e-collar at all since I first walked in here. So I want to kind of show you how she does without the e-collar, how well she listens, and kind of the same, I will do some e-collar stuff with her as well, kind of show you the same of both. Good girl. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna kind of walk in just a little bit. No! And so, even I'm still in control of her right now, I'm still her handler. If she does get up by the time you scooch in and take the leash, I want you to tell her no down. If it gets to a point where she's getting too excited, I just want you to walk off. So I think that's what I'm gonna have you do instead, is just as soon as you step in right here, step off with your left foot and just begin walking with her. Yep, awesome. All right, go ahead. Tell her Charlie, heel. Begin walking. Kendell continued working Charlie at heel until he felt comfortable with the overall positioning and process for being successful on walks and shorter training sessions at home. He also addressed the separation anxiety concerns, which I then started to show him simple solutions with both the play stay duration along with utilizing a crate to allow Charlie time to be a dog and relax and decompress. I told him the e-collar would also become an extremely helpful tool at home to give her reminders while he's away, should she become anxious when he leaves to go somewhere. He was very surprised with her progress and left excited to see how her final week turns out and would be prepared for the transition.
Learning for two, your dog and you, PartnersDogs.com.